The electric future isn't coming. It's already here. And BMW, a brand built on driving pleasure and engineering precision, is doubling down with two of its most important electric SUVs for 2026. In today's video, we're putting the spotlight on the all-new 2026 BMW iX3 and the refined 2026 BMW iX, two models that share the same philosophy but deliver completely different experiences on the road. The 2026 iX3 represents BMW's next step in accessible premium electrification. Lighter, smarter, more aerodynamic, and now built on a fresh generation of BMW's EV architecture. It promises sharper efficiency, improved charging performance, a more athletic stance, and that unmistakable BMW handling DNA that drivers love. Meanwhile, the 2026 BMW iX returns as the flagship electric SUV, a vehicle that doesn't just compete but sets the benchmark for luxury, long-distance comfort, cabin technology, and high-performance electric driving. With its advanced batteries, powerful dual-motor system, and futuristic interior, the iX aims to offer an EV experience that feels truly next-generation. In this comparison, we're diving deep into everything. How the performance of a compact EV stacks up against a full-size luxury powerhouse. How both models use BMW's latest battery tech and motor designs. Which one offers better range, comfort, practicality, and long-term value. And more importantly, which one actually fits your lifestyle in 2026. So, whether you're looking for a sleek, efficient daily driver or a bold, high-tech premium SUV with commanding road presence, this is the comparison that will give you all the answers. Settle in, hit that like button, and let's get into the 2026 BMW iX3 versus 2026 BMW iX. The battle between BMW's newest generation of electric SUVs begins right now. This is Parth, and you are watching MotorNation. Before we jump into today's video, here's something every true car enthusiast will love: our official website, MotorNationGroup.com. It's your go-to destination for everything automotive, from the latest car launches and industry news to detailed reviews, performance breakdowns, comparisons, buyer guides, and even insights into future tech shaping the next generation of vehicles. Join the MotorNation community, where passion meets performance and the drive never stops. Now, let's get into the video. Before we dive into the performance numbers, interiors, and real-world practicality, let's start off with an overview of what separates these two electric SUVs at the core. Because even though both wear the BMW badge and both run purely on electric power, the 2026 iX3 and the 2026 iX are built with completely different intentions. The 2026 BMW iX3 steps into the spotlight as the next-generation electric SUV built on BMW's revolutionary new E-Class platform, a platform that's lighter, more efficient, and engineered from the ground up for EVs. The iX3 represents the sporty, agile, and more attainable side of BMW's electric lineup, replacing the previous generation model with sharper design, improved range, and faster charging. It's tailored for drivers who want a practical daily EV that still feels like a true BMW with its athletic handling and compact footprint. Meanwhile, the 2026 BMW iX continues as BMW's electric flagship, the model that showcases everything BMW can do when luxury, comfort, performance, and futuristic technology are the priority. It stands larger, wider, and more imposing than the iX3, with a more powerful dual-motor setup, a bigger battery, a refined ride quality, and an interior that feels closer to a high-end lounge than a conventional SUV. The iX isn't just about transporting you. It's about surrounding you with high-tech serenity and delivering long-range electric performance without compromise. So right from the start, these two SUVs offer very different experiences. The iX3 is the efficient, agile, next-generation EV aimed at everyday usability, while the iX is the premium, full-size electric statement piece designed for buyers who want maximum space, luxury, and acceleration. And depending on whether you value sporty practicality or flagship comfort, BMW gives you two distinct answers in its 2026 electric SUV lineup. When we talk about the heart and soul of the 2026 BMW iX3 and iX, we're not just talking electric motors. We're talking BMW's electric future, wrapped in two very distinct packages. The iX3, built on BMW's new E-Class architecture, represents high-efficiency innovation. The iX, meanwhile, is the luxury EV that refuses to compromise on power, presence, or refinement. Starting off with the powertrain overview of the 2026 BMW iX3, which represents BMW's next-generation EV engineering under the new E-Class architecture, and its entire drivetrain reflects that future-forward approach. The iX350 xDrive uses BMW's sixth-generation eDrive electric motors, which incorporate redesigned stator windings, improved magnetic flow, reduced heat loss, and up to 25% higher efficiency compared to the outgoing fifth-gen motors. This dual-motor AWD setup produces 469 horsepower and 645 newton-meters of torque, giving the iX3 a strong and immediate surge of acceleration. The cylindrical cell battery pack beneath supports a usable capacity of around 108.7 kilowatt-hours, with improved energy density and a new silicon-rich anode chemistry. According to BMW, this chemistry improves cold weather efficiency and allows more repeatable high-power charging. Because the 2026 iX3 rides on an all-new 800-volt electrical system, its biggest advantage is charging speed. Peak DC charging is rated at 400 kilowatts, which is almost twice as fast as most current luxury electric SUVs. Under optimal temperature, that means the iX3 can recover well over 200 kilometers of range in roughly 10 minutes. And the charge curve holds high for longer thanks to an upgraded liquid cooling plate that runs the length of the battery. The pack itself uses a more structural design, reducing weight by nearly 100 kilograms compared to the old iX3's architecture, despite being larger and more energy-dense. In terms of real-world numbers, the iX3 0 to 100 kilometers per hour acceleration of 4.9 seconds validates that this SUV is not just efficient, it's properly quick. Its expected driving range, depending on wheel size and aero configuration, sits in the 500 to 600 kilometers band WLTP, although official figures may vary slightly by market and final homologation. BMW has also confirmed that the new E-Class platform will support future single-motor RWD variants, likely producing around 300 to 350 horsepower, and even more powerful dual and tri-motor versions with outputs exceeding 600 horsepower. These haven't been officially detailed yet, but BMW's engineering roadmap indicates clear development space for performance-oriented powertrains beyond the 50 xDrive. This gives the iX3 lineup room to grow, evolve, and target everything from efficiency buyers to performance enthusiasts. Switching to the 2026 BMW iX, we move from a next-generation platform to a flagship luxury EV built on BMW's existing modular electric architecture. The iX continues to offer three different powertrain options, each designed to deliver a progressively richer combination of performance, range, and refinement. The first is the iX xDrive 45, which uses a dual-motor AWD setup producing 402 horsepower and around 630 newton-meters of torque, paired with a 100.1 kilowatt-hours usable battery pack. This pack uses BMW's prismatic cell design, and in this configuration, the iX delivers a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of roughly 4.9 seconds, with a peak DC charging rate of 175 kilowatts. Although this isn't as high as the new iX3's 400 kilowatts capability, the iX compensates with a larger battery cooling area and a very stable charging curve, allowing it to hold above 120 to 150 kilowatts for a longer portion of the session. Range for the xDrive 45 typically sits in the upper 400 kilometers band WLTP, depending on wheel size and equipment. The middle variant, the iX xDrive 60, steps performance up significantly. Total output rises to 536 horsepower and well over 760 Nm, depending on final calibration. This version uses a 113.4 kilowatt-hours usable battery, giving it more energy storage and longer long-distance capability. Its 0 to 60 miles per hour time improves to around 4.6 seconds, and because of its larger thermal envelope, the xDrive 60 supports charging it up to 195 kilowatts on a DC fast charger. Under ideal conditions, the battery can go from 10 to 80% in approximately 35 minutes, owing to its enhanced refrigerant-based cooling system and high-flow coolant pumps, which manage heat during sustained high-power charging or repeated acceleration runs. Then there's the performance flagship, the iX3 xDrive, one of the most powerful electric SUVs BMW has ever produced. With up to 650 horsepower in its boost mode and torque pushing above 1,000 Nm. The M70 accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 3.8 seconds, which is supercar territory for a full-size luxury SUV. This model uses a 112.8 kilowatt-hours usable battery, slightly different from the xDrive 60 due to its performance-oriented discharge characteristics, and supports peak DC charging of 195 kilowatts. Charging across the iX lineup remains strong, but is still based on BMW's 400-volt electrical architecture, which is why the peak numbers hover around 175 to 195 kilowatts, rather than the iX3's ultra-fast 800-volt system. Still, BMW's charging curves are known to be among the most stable in the EV industry, meaning the 9 often spends less time tapering off near the end of the session. For real-world users, that means more predictable charging stops, particularly when going from 10 to 60% or 20 to 70%. In terms of range, the iX models vary. The xDrive 45 tends to deliver mid-400 km WLTP. The xDrive 60 extends toward 550 to 600 km WLTP, and the M70, because of its performance tuning and larger wheels, falls slightly lower, typically around 500 km WLTP in ideal setups. These numbers will vary by climate, wheel size, driving style, and load, but the consistency across the lineup shows BMW's dedication to balancing performance and efficiency, even in its most powerful variants. Moving inside, the differences between the 2026 BMW iX3 and the 2026 BMW iX become even clearer because both SUVs take very different approaches to luxury and cabin design. Starting with the all-new iX3, BMW's new E-Class platform brings a completely reimagined interior that feels cleaner, lighter, and far more modern than the outgoing model. The first thing you notice is the floating panoramic display that stretches across the dashboard. A single central screen panel that merges a massive 14.9-inch central touchscreen, powered by BMW's new iDrive 9 software. The whole cabin feels futuristic and airy, with a minimalist dashboard, a slim floating center console, and a new flat-bottom steering wheel inspired by BMW's concept cars. Material quality is high, with recycled composite trims, hidden ambient lighting, and a fabric-wrapped dash that gives the iX3 a new-age, lounge-like feel. Seats are multi-adjustable, heated as standard, and optional ventilation and massage systems make the front row feel surprisingly premium for a vehicle positioned below the flagship iX. In terms of comfort, the iX3 benefits from its next-generation platform, with a flat floor, improved sound insulation, and new acoustic laminated glass. Ride quality is noticeably smoother thanks to adaptive dampers and a redesigned suspension layout engineered specifically for EV weight. Rear passengers also enjoy more legroom than before, because the wheelbase has stretched slightly compared to the previous iX3. The seating position is upright and comfortable, and the cabin maintains a bright, modern ambience with BMW's new panoramic skyview roof, which uses electrochromatic dimming instead of a traditional sunshade. Cargo space in the iX3 is generous for the segment. Behind the rear seats, you get around 570 liters, and with the seats folded, space expands to well over 1,600 liters, giving you plenty of room for luggage, camping gear, or even long road trip hauls. The flat-load floor makes the space more usable, and the rear seats split in a 40/20/40 configuration, allowing flexibility for skis, strollers, and larger items. When it comes to infotainment, the iX3 steps into the future with BMW's iDrive 9 interface, featuring faster menu navigation, widget-based home screens, upgraded voice control, wireless updates, and full wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The new OS also adds improved 3D navigation, EV-optimized route planning, an augmented reality overlay for turns, and a redesigned digital assistant with natural language processing. Optional features like a 20-speaker Harman Kardon sound system and head-up display push the premium feel even further. It's clear that the iX3 is designed to be highly tech-forward, especially for younger buyers looking for a modern and clean in-cabin experience. Switching over to the 2026 BMW iX, you immediately feel like you've stepped into something more luxurious, more substantial, and more immersive. The iX has one of the most distinctive interiors in the BMW lineup, built around a floating dual-screen curved display, a hexagonal steering wheel, and a minimalist but extremely premium cabin layout. Materials take a noticeable step up from the iX3. The iX uses FSC-certified wood, open-pore trims, optional crystal control surfaces, and ultra-soft perforated leather or microfiber upholstery. BMW's dedicated EV architecture give the iX a totally flat floor and an open, lounge-like cabin with wide seats, thick cushioning, and a noticeably quiet interior thanks to extensive sound deadening and dual-chamber insulation. Comfort in the iX is exceptional. The SUV uses air suspension on higher trims, offering smoother ride quality than the iX3, especially over rough pavement. The seats are larger and more supportive, with optional multi-stage massage functions, seat ventilation, and rear seat heating. Rear passengers enjoy more space than nearly any EV in its segment, with excellent legroom and a raised seating angle that makes long trips more comfortable. Cargo capacity in the iX comes in at 500 liters behind the second row and expands to 1,750 liters with the rear seats folded. Even though the raw number behind the second row is slightly lower than the iX3, the cargo bay is wider, deeper, and more square in shape, making the space more practical for bulky items. The powered tailgate and lower loading height also make day-to-day usability easier. On the tech and infotainment front, the iX takes a more luxurious, feature-rich approach. It uses BMW's iDrive 8.5 system, which, while slightly older than iDrive 9 and the iX3, is optimized specifically for large luxury EVs. The system is displayed on a large 12.3-inch cluster and a 14.9-inch central display, nearly identical in size to the iX3, but with more advanced graphics and deeper integration with the vehicle's HVAC, seat functions, and drive modes. A 30-speaker Bowers & Wilkins Diamond surround sound system is available, offering one of the most immersive audio experiences in any electric SUV. The iX also includes BMW's advanced AR navigation, 5G connectivity, a head-up display, digital key plus, and in higher trims, BMW's theater mode, style rear entertainment functions. When it comes to safety, both the 2026 BMW iX3 and the 2026 BMW iX are built around BMW's latest generation of structural engineering and driver assistance technology, but each SUV approaches protection and driver confidence in its own way. Beginning with the iX3, the move to the new E-Class platform brings a massive improvement in crash rigidity, energy absorption, and passenger cell protection. BMW has reworked the underlying aluminum and steel structure, to give the iX3 a stiffer, lighter, and more impact-resistant chassis, combined with an advanced battery housing designed to protect the pack in the event of a side collision. Inside, the iX3 integrates a multi-layered airbag system, including front, side, curtain, and knee airbags, coordinated through a fast-acting central safety computer that constantly monitors the vehicle's sensors. In terms of driver assistance, the iX3 arrives with BMW's new generation highway assistant, a semi-autonomous system that allows hands-free driving on compatible highways at sustained speeds, supported by a high-resolution front camera, upgraded radar sensors, and a new LiDAR module introduced across BMW's latest EV models. The vehicle can maintain lanes, adjust speed, respond to traffic, and even perform controlled lane changes when the driver taps the indicator. The system is backed by BMW's Safety Shield, which includes automatic emergency braking, pedestrian and cyclist detection, evasive steering assist, junction collision mitigation, and intelligent cross-traffic intervention. Parking is equally advanced, with a 360-degree camera suite, automated parking, memory parking for repeated paths, and a 3D remote view that lets you check the car using a smartphone. Switching over to the 2026 BMW iX, the flagship SUV elevates safety to an even higher level, not only through size and structural capability, but also through more advanced hardware and software. The iX is built on BMW's bespoke Electra platform with an ultra-strong carbon core, a structure that integrates carbon fiber reinforced plastic into the roof frame, side pillars, and rear sections. This unique mix of aluminum, high-strength steel, and carbon fiber gives the iX one of the most advanced safety shells of any electric SUV on the road. The battery pack is encased in a rigid protective frame, and the vehicle's low center of gravity adds inherent stability during sudden maneuvers or emergency situations. In terms of technology, the iX carries BMW's top-tier driving assistant professional, a more feature-rich system than the one offered in the iX3. It includes enhanced Level 2+ highway driving with smoother lane changes, improved traffic jam assist that can operate for longer durations, and a high-definition LiDAR-assisted environment model that continuously tracks vehicles, road edges, pedestrians, and obstacles in real time. The iX also includes front cross-traffic alerts, left-turn collision warnings, blind spot intervention, exit warnings that detect cyclists approaching from behind, and a more fine-tuned crash avoidance algorithm that can predictively adjust steering and braking before the driver even reacts. Both SUVs also integrate a full digital safety ecosystem, including automatic over-the-air updates that improve detection accuracy, expand highway map coverage for hands-free driving, and refine the vehicle's decision-making logic. When it comes to pricing, the 2026 BMW iX3 and the 2026 BMW iX sit in two very different tiers of BMW's electric lineup, and that difference becomes instantly clear when you look at their trim-wise structure across Europe. Starting with the 2026 BMW iX3, its new E-Class foundation allows BMW to position it as the more accessible premium EV SUV in the range. The lineup begins with the iX350 xDrive, which is expected to start at around €58,000 to €60,000, depending on the market and local EV incentives. At this entry level, the iX3 already includes the dual-motor xDrive setup, the new Gen 6 battery with around 108 kilowatt-hours, 800-volt architecture, fast charging capability above 200 kilowatts, BMW's curved display with iDrive 9, advanced highway assistant, and a full suite of safety technology. Even this base trim feels far from basic, as BMW has positioned the iX3 as a high-value electric SUV that brings flagship-level tech at a more attainable price point. Climbing up the ladder, BMW is expected to offer an iX3M Sport variant priced closer to €64,000 to €66,000, adding the sportier exterior package, upgraded wheels, enhanced interior finishes, and additional tech bundles, such as a premium audio upgrade and expanded driver assistance capabilities. Depending on region, an additional iX3 iX3 xDrive 60 trim may join the lineup later, offering more power and potentially a larger battery, which could push its price toward the €70,000 mark. But for 2026, the 50 xDrive remains the primary configuration across Europe. Switching over to the 2026 BMW iX, the flagship electric SUV naturally commands a higher premium thanks to its carbon-reinforced structure, more powerful motors, larger batteries, and fully loaded technology. The lineup begins with the iX xDrive 45, which starts around €88,000 to €90,000. Even at this entry point, the iX includes the expansive BMW curved display, premium materials, the carbon core, dual-motor AWD, and a large battery pack offering over 100 kilowatt-hours of usable energy. The performance bump comes with the iX xDrive 60, priced in the range of €100,000 to €105,000, delivering a higher 536 horsepower output, faster charging speeds, extended range, and more luxurious optional packages. This trim is where BMW loads the iX with upgraded leather options, advanced driver assistance bundles, a panoramic electrochromic roof, and a premium Bowers & Wilkins sound system in many markets. Finally, standing at the top of the lineup is the iX M70 xDrive, BMW's electric performance flagship, priced between €125,000 and €130,000 across most of Europe. With up to 650 horsepower, a 0 to 100 km per hour time under 4 seconds, upgraded M-specific tuning, adaptive air suspension, and the highest expression of the iX's technology, this trim is aimed squarely at buyers seeking maximum power, luxury, and futuristic design. It is also the trim that receives BMW's most advanced semi-autonomous driving features and the most premium interior materials available in any BMW EV today. So in the end, the 2026 BMW iX3 and the 2026 BMW iX may share the same BMW badge and electric philosophy, but they're built for two very different kinds of buyers. The new iX3 represents BMW's next-generation electric direction, lighter, more efficient, packed with modern tech, and far more attainable. It's the EV for drivers who want a premium experience without stepping into six-figure territory, all while enjoying the advantages of BMW's 6th-gen motors, new battery tech, and that sleek new E-Class design language. On the other hand, the 2026 BMW iX remains the flagship, bigger, more luxurious, more powerful, and undeniably more exclusive. It's the SUV for those who want maximum comfort, maximum performance, and the most advanced interior BMW currently makes. Whether you choose the balanced xDrive 45, the muscular xDrive 60, or the range-topping M70, the iX delivers a full-size electric luxury experience that few SUVs on the road today can match. Ultimately, your choice comes down to what you value more: the futuristic efficiency and smart pricing of the iX3, or the full-blown electric luxury powerhouse that is the iX. But whichever one you pick, both SUVs show just how serious BMW is about the future of electrification. And with that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this comparison and want more deep dive reviews and EV matchups, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to MotorNation, and ring the bell so you never miss our latest uploads. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, drive safe, stay curious, and keep exploring the world of tomorrow's cars today.